Yeah, is for people that don't know what that statue is, could you like describe it a little bit more? Is that the one with all the boobs on it?
Yeah, so I was gonna actually pull it up for you. So
Okay, cool.
it's so they're not boobs, though people call them boobs, but
Okay.
they're bee eggs. In
Oh.
fact, the weekend just before that, I did a paper at a conference, ASOR, which is an archaeological organization. I'm just looking for the statue, on how these are for sure bee eggs, you know. So people used to say they're
Oh.
breasts. Well, let me clarify. Men during the Renaissance, 12 and earlier, said they were breasts and depicted them with nipples. In actual fact, they have no nipples at all.
Mm,
They call them protrusions, right? Then some
yeah.
guy in the 1800s said, no, they're bee egg. I mean, no, they're bull testicles, and they used to throw the bull testicles over the cult statue, which is absurd, absolutely absurd. And there's no actual evidence of that. Okay.
Evidence for that, right?
No.
Unreliable narrator.
What is this? Okay, so here, let me show you. And maybe the viewers can see this, but you could Google her. So this is called a beautiful one. And she
Oh,
has
awesome.
what she has on her head is the city. It's called a TK.
Mm.
And then she's got everything on her body. So do you see these bees? Oh, sorry. There's bees right here going up her body.
Oh,
And lots of
wow.
animals. And she has the astrological symbols on her body, like Cancer, Sagittarius at the top of her neck.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, I can send some of these to you, but I think they'll be on my Instagram. And you can Google it and
Absolutely.
see her.
I'll
But
I'll make sure to for viewers, I'll also clip this underneath so people can directly like go to your Instagram and see it. So that's amazing. What is there like because I didn't realize, is there a particular significance to like the bees with her, or is it just that she's like of all wild beasts?
so it's a long story in the sense that, okay, so we know the bees because she has them on her. Bees and honeys have a long, long history that deal with prophecy, immortality, resurrection, long, long history of that. And there are legends, there's at least one legend that said that because the cult statue, so the original cult statue was made of wood and it was brought by the Amazons, we're told. This is a
Mm.
stone statue, it's a second century Roman statue. And on the wood itself, that bees started to create hives. So that's one of the legends
Oh,
around it. Yeah.
cool.
Her priestesses were called the Melisai, and so that means bees or bee priestess.
Mm.
Um, and there's this long tradition that bees, for example, fed Zeus when he was born. So bees play a fundamental role, one of the main symbols in ancient Greek and later Roman traditions. And so bees would bee eggs, when you look at a cluster of bee eggs, they look exactly like that. Yeah.
Very cool.
So that's my favorite theory, and that's the one that I'm supporting. I've also suggested that, so there's a couple of statues that have of Zeus, for example, Zeus Labrandaus and one of Cybele that have normal body parts up here. For example, Kybele has like two breasts, and then
Yeah.
underneath they have like a triangle of these protrusions.
Mm.
And so there's been a suggestion that they're called cosmic sacs, that they hold galaxies or cosmos in them.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, so I don't think that for Artemis of Ephesus there's so much evidence that leans into bees. And like I said,
Right.
her priestesses were named bees. Like there's a lot of bee imagery that's in
That
Ephesus.
leads to that. Right.
Yeah, at least that. And in fact, when I was standing in front of this statue before I got to the kneeling part, there was a group
Yeah.
of women there, American women that were traveling on a cruise. And I don't normally talk to people or tell them who I am, but they were asking questions. They were talking to each other. And I said, so let me tell you something about this, and that, because I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I'm sure they
one,
appreciated it too.
they were wonderful. They were wonderful. They asked me for my Instagram. They were wonderful.
Oh,
Um, and one of them was a beekeeper.
how
And so
cool.
when I said, so these are most likely bee eggs, cluster, and she went, "Oh my God, yes. Yes, yes, yes."
Oh,
She's
wow.
like, "I see it now." It's because, she had seen bee eggs. Not all of us see bee eggs. We usually just see the hives We don't actually see the bee
Right.
egg, right?
Right.
Um, but she did, and if you Google a cluster of bee eggs, you will see exactly that shape. So
Oh, that's awesome.